Hello there. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm live. I am just gonna wait a second because it always goes on and off. One more time. But hello, Soul Alliance Healthcare Community. It's been a little bit. I was away, so I haven't been live as often as I usually am. Although I'm pretty sure I went live on Instagram. And I wanted to share it to you guys, but I forgot to save it. I forgot to download it. You have to download it before you post it, and I didn't know that, so I lost it. I think I'm getting warnings about, yeah, bad connection, so I hope my connection is okay. All right, I'm going to X those off. Today, we're going to do 11 powerful, transformational, mindful eating, intuitive eating tips that I'm going to share with you. And this is all leading up to my hot summer reset that I'll be doing. I do a reset a couple of times a year for myself, and I always invite the people in my community to do it with me. It's a really good reset. I do it to kind of like de-stress, improve my diet, like clean up my diet, maybe lose a few pounds, get back on track with like my workouts, and also, so it's a mindset of the mind, the body, and the soul. And so the soul part, really what I want to focus on is bringing more playfulness, more joy, and more adventure into my life. And so that's what I'm going to be focusing on for this summer reset that's going to start on the 19th. So if you want to join me, just message me and let me know. It's super easy to hop in. There are limited places because I give you one-on-one coaching basically, and it's very inexpensive. So I would love to have you in it. So if you need to do any of this stuff, I'll be sharing all types of tips like this inside of the reset. But I'm also going to share a lot with you on here also. So these 11 tips are very powerful. I have my notes here so I don't get off topic, which I'm famous for. I always get off topic. So I will also have a link soon for that reset. So it's probably going to be like 20 plus bucks a week. It's going to be really inexpensive. And there's going to be workouts, there's going to be meal plans, there's going to be coaching, there's going to be Voxer support. Voxer is like an app that you could use. But I want to be able to have that one-on-one support so you could ask me questions and stuff. So I'm going to get into it in like a second. Holy crap, I just realized like I'm a half hour early. I'm so bad at getting on here at the right time. So I'm just going to apologize. I'm going to just keep going because you guys can watch the replay. My hair is very messy right now. So I'm in New York and I was in Charlotte for a month or so. And I'm back in New York and we have the smoke from the wildfires. Actually, everybody has the smoke on the East Coast right now. It's almost all the way down to the Carolinas now, from what I understand. And I'm very salty about it. I feel horrible for the people in Canada that are dealing with all the wildfires, and I'm mad that we don't have sun. The sun's trying to come through, but it can't, and so it's cold. I'm freezing right now. I have this sweatshirt on. I have like long underwear on underneath, and then I have like all these layers on. And I want to go outside and finish planting my garden. Okay. So I also want to add the note, if you guys are into gardening and growing your own food, or you want to get into it, follow me on Instagram at Tina Stinson Coach, because I don't share as much on Facebook, but I share all my gardening stuff on Instagram. And so if you want to follow me on there at Tina Stinson Coach. And so I'm making a pumpkin patch this year, and this is going to drive me crazy. Do you see this little blurb here? It's just like, I don't know what it is. I need a haircut really bad. So anyway, this year I want to make a big pumpkin patch. So we have lots of pumpkins. And I'm also going to plant sunflowers because they just look so beautiful, right? And then also I'm hoping I can harvest some sunflowers. I eat lots of sunflowers. So anyway, all right, let's get going with these 11 tips, all right? And so what I want to start with before we even get into the tips is, when you're talking about mindful eating and intuitive eating, it's all these little, it seems very subtle, like subtle things that make big differences over time. So I don't want you to kind of like look at these as, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. Because these things make a big difference. Okay. So the first one is savor every morsel. To slow down, honey, take the time to appreciate the flavors, textures, and aromas of your food. Chew slowly and mindfully, relishing each bite like a work of culinary art. Okay, so this is really, really important to slow down because a lot of us eat way too fast, including myself. And so, something that really helps me do this, and that's not really good for your digestion, first of all. That's a good way to get like bloating and gas. And a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about today actually help with bloating and gas and also nutrient absorption, because if you're not digesting your food and your digestion is all screwed up, you're not really absorbing all the nutrients in your food. So something that's helpful when it comes to slowing down is to really to count your chews. Okay, it seems really ridiculous and I'm sure you've heard this before, but try counting your chews. Like maybe start with like 25, which seems like once you do it, you'll be like, this is forever. Like I never chew this much. Put your fork or spoon or whatever down in between. If you're eating a sandwich, put it down in between bites. Just take your time and slow down. Believe it or not, the beginning of the digestive process is right at the beginning when you're chewing. You release saliva that helps break down the food. So that's like the beginning of the digestion process. So if you're having any problems with digestion, attack it from all different areas. And this is one that you could really focus on. All the tips today can help you with that. All right, so number 2. I didn't number these on my blog. I'm using my blog as my notes. So I'm going to screw up the numbers at some point. I know I will. Bye-bye distractions. Okay, ditch the screens, turn off the TV, put away the phone. I agree with this most of the time. I don't do it all the time. I'm just going to openly admit I like to watch TV sometimes when I eat. I live by myself, and so sometimes that's like my company, kind of, you know. But sometimes I like to just have music on or something like that. But I really think that you should try to make it an experience. You know what I mean? Like, so one of the best things we can do for ourselves during a meal for your digestion, for your health, is to slow down, like I said earlier, but also to like relax. So this is part of relaxation. Don't be like watching TV, don't be scrolling on your phone. Try to enjoy the meal. Pretend you're like in Italy and it's the siesta part of the day, right? And try to like make an experience, like take out the good china. What are you saving it for? Like to use twice a year? Just might as well. I started using china every day, you know, because I'm like, might as well, right? I'm not using it for anything else. Light a candle, maybe pick some fresh flowers or buy some at the store. You can get them so cheap now. Like Trader Joe's, you can get a beautiful bouquet for $3.99, right? Or just go outside and pick some if you live someplace like how I do, right? So just like make it comfortable, happy, and relaxed, okay? Number 3, embrace your inner foodie, okay? Experiment with new flavors and recipes and ingredients and enjoy the process of preparing the food. When you start to prepare more of your meals at home, you're going to be more focused on eating real whole food. When you start eating real whole food, what you're doing is you're adding in more nutrition and you're kind of by default just taking out processed foods, you know, which takes out extra sugar, added salt that you don't need, and the bad fats. Okay, so when you start really kind of embracing making your own food, eating real food, it sounds ridiculous, but a lot of the processed food is not real food. Okay, and so when you start to really focus on this, you automatically remove those things. You don't have to think about actually removing them. They just naturally fall away, which is really nice because when you're trying to become healthy, you don't want to really focus on restriction. You want to focus on adding. So you're focusing on adding more real whole food meals into your life whenever you have the time. Okay. 4. I think we're on 4. See, I'm already getting distracted. Number 4. Release the food police. Show the food police the door. Banish guilt and shame from your plate. So there's a couple of different food polices. Banishing guilt and shame is huge. So when you make a mistake, just forgive yourself and move forward. Don't like a lot of times when people like eat something bad or they eat too much or whatever it might be, then they're like, "Oh, it's all over now. I screwed up. Now I might as well just like eat a whole cake or something like that." But what I want you to focus on when it comes to mindful eating and intuitive eating is really thinking about it as a lifestyle change. This is a permanent thing. So just like brushing your teeth, if you want to have healthy teeth and gums for your life, then you have to continue to brush your teeth. So it's the same way when it comes to taking care of your health and eating and nutrition and stuff like that, exercise, right? You have to keep doing the practices if you want to get the results, if you want to keep the results. You can't just do it for a little while, get the results, and expect to keep it if you stop doing the lifestyle. So you have to think of it as 100% lifestyle change or shift, excuse me, and and accept that as a definitive thing. Like, I'm going to do this forever. And so when you fall off the wagon, so to speak, I don't know if I like to call it that, or if you eat something that's not so good for you, just be like, well, sometimes we got to do that. So there's two different food places. There's the one where it's like you like make yourself feel guilty just to have something like chocolate or ice cream or something like that. And the other food police is just being way too serious about your diet. We have to have fun. Food is fun. Food is delicious. So if you want to have the piece of chocolate, have the chocolate. Just don't do it every day, and don't eat 10 pieces of chocolate. Maybe eat one piece of chocolate, right? And so it's about moderation. We have to enjoy our food. And if you're going to stress like way too much over food, the stress is going to kind of like negate the healthy choices that you make, because being stressed out is not good for your body either. And it's no fun. I mean, I don't know about you, but I freaking love food. I love eating. And if I want to eat a donut, I'm going to eat a donut. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do it every freaking day, right? And I'm not going to eat 10 donuts, right? So there's two different food polices. Get rid of both of them. Okay. Feel your emotions. Okay, this is about emotional eating, and I feel like this is a really big topic that I could spend like a whole different live on. But I'm just going to kind of skim the surface. And so if you want to stop eating your feelings, that's what I call it, because I eat my feelings all the time. Right? If you want to stop eating your feelings, then you have to learn to feel your feelings. So when you get angry, allow yourself to be angry and feel that, allow it to pass through your body, and do what you need to do to release the energy of that anger. Okay, so whenever we have different emotions, they're different energies. And I feel like you have to do different things in order to comfortably feel those feelings and then let them move through your body. You don't want to like suppress them or stuff them down or try to hide them or whatever, or try to be positive when you can't, right? So if you need to be sad, take a moment to be sad, feel the feelings, cry, whatever you need to do to feel better, like to let that feeling pass through your body when you're sad. So like for me, when I'm sad, I like talking to somebody. When I'm angry, I like body movement, like running. It makes me feel better. When I'm super stressed, running doesn't work. Running makes me more stressed out. So when I'm super stressed, yoga works, breathing works, meditation works, reading works, doing a puzzle works, right? So there's different things that help me feel my feelings and move through those feelings comfortably, instead of like eating, right? Which is a way that we try to give ourselves comfort. So like, how else can we give ourselves comfort when we're feeling our feelings? So think about what helps you when I feel sad. What helps you when you feel mad? What helps you when you feel stressed? What helps you when you feel anxious? What else could you do besides eating ice cream when you feel those things? And then when it comes down to it, I think you have to like give yourself some grace when every once in a while you're just like, well, eating this ice cream cone is just going to make me temporarily feel better. I don't do it all the time. I haven't had ice cream in a month, and so I'm just going to enjoy this ice cream cone, right? So we're going back to the food police, right? So everything in moderation. All right, so the next thing is honor your cravings, okay? So I kind of talked about this already, and honoring your cravings is really important. I don't know about you, but when I get a craving, it doesn't really go away. Like, I'll keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it. So now, at my age, I just know, okay, I want to get some ice cream. I'm going to make a point at some point during the week to get myself some ice cream, or I want some chocolate, or I want a glass of wine, or whatever it is that I'm craving or want. I'm going to let myself have that because it brings me joy, it brings me happiness. I'm just not going to do it very often. One of the things I do is for the most part during the week, like Monday through Friday, I eat really super clean. I eat pretty good almost all the time. And then on the weekends, I kind of relax a little bit. And I don't go fly off the handle and go eat like pizza and ice cream all weekend. Because when you're eating really well during the week and you realize how good you feel, you really don't want to screw it up on the weekends. So I just give myself little things on the weekend sometimes. So if I'm going to go out with a friend, I might have dessert or whatever it might be. I might have a glass of wine, whatever it is. It's something I wouldn't do during the week. All right. Next thing, connect with your body's wisdom. Your body is your BFF, so trust its wisdom and let it guide you. Learn to decipher between physical hunger and emotional hunger. This one's really important, and I shared this one. I think I shared it maybe on TikTok or Instagram. I can't remember, but there's two things I want you to pay attention to. Your hunger. So when you're really hungry, I want you to pay attention to how that feels. Okay, what's the feeling? Your stomach's growling, maybe you feel empty. Sometimes I get a little nauseous when I'm too hungry, right? And so pay attention to how you feel. Now, I am not this one practice. This is one of my sticky points. I'm not good at this. So, but it's really, really powerful and really, really important. So when you start eating, only eat until you're not hungry. Don't eat until you're full. Because if you're eating until you actually feel full and like kind of stuffed, you're eating too much. But if you just eat until that hungry feeling goes away, it's a huge difference. I'm telling you, when I practice this, when I'm mindful and I'm paying attention and I practice this, I probably eat 50% or more or less than that, like than I normally eat. Because I freaking love food, and when something tastes good, I just want to keep eating it, keep shoveling it into my mouth, right? And so when I practice this, I eat so much less and I'm still satisfied. So, also, another thing about tuning into your body's wisdom is pay attention to how you feel when you eat certain things. So everybody is different. So what's one person is sensitive to, another person will not be. So like I eat a plant-based diet. I don't really eat dairy. Sometimes it sneaks into my diet. Sometimes I'll go out with friends and, you know, we'll get a pizza or something like that, and I'm just like, all right, why not? Or I go to a birthday party, I'm going to eat a cake or something like that that has dairy in it. So I'm not a strict person when it comes to my diet. I'm not going to stress over these things, but I try not to eat dairy because it bothers my stomach, right? It makes me really bloated. It makes me gassy. It makes my stomach upset sometimes. Like I feel nauseous. And so, especially if it's crappy dairy, like crappy cheese and stuff like that. And so I try to avoid it. So pay attention to how different things make you feel and try to avoid those things. Everybody's different. You know, like soy doesn't always agree with me, so I don't eat a lot of it. So like if I'm going to have like tofu or something like that. But when I eat like tempeh, which is also soy, but it's fermented soy, it doesn't bother me as much because tempeh is easier to digest. Okay. So everybody's different. So pay attention to the wisdom that your body has because it's very important. And then try to avoid those things that don't agree with you and add more of the stuff that makes you feel good. Okay. Next. Love your body unconditionally. This one's an important one and really hard to do. So I want you to embrace your body exactly as it is right now. And you can love your body for all that it is. You can look at all the things that it does for you, like your heart beats, you breathe, you have feet, you stand on your feet. Maybe you have feet, maybe you only have one. Some of us have two. But whatever, all the things that our body does for us, our hands, our arms, our eyes, our mouth, our nose, all our senses, we all are absolutely, human body is absolutely amazing. And judging ourselves for just the way it looks on the surface, when you look at how amazing the actual body is so, it's like really shallow, right? And also, today's representation of what a woman should look like is completely, it's a farce, first of all. Like everything is doctored and everything's fake, everything's photoshopped, everything's filters. And I want to add that when I am on social media, I don't use filters. I don't use filters on TikTok, and I don't use filters on Instagram. And I do that on purpose because I feel like we live in a world where nothing is real, and some of these expectations of us are just they're just unreachable, and they're unhealthy for us. And so I want you to look at your body for all the things that it does for you right now, all the things it's done for you. I've had 3 children, right? That's amazing. Um, I I've had many injuries. I tore my hamstring and I healed from that. And I ran I'm pretty sure I ran a couple of half marathons after that. Our bodies are amazing. They can heal. They can do amazing things. And I want you to focus more on that than and less on the way that you look. I want you to focus on what your body does for you. Secondly, I want you to focus on how you feel, right? How you feel is more important. How many of you look at how you feel sometimes and it almost doesn't matter what you look like? You feel so good that you look good because you feel good, right? How many of you have felt that, right? You might be, this weight this day and this weight this day, and this day you feel like shit, right? You're just having one of those days when you feel like shit. This day you just feel great. You feel your body feels great. You feel energized, and you just feel like you're gorgeous over here, but over here you feel like like a toad, right? So I want you to focus on number one, everything your body does for you, and number two, I want you to focus on how you're feeling and focus on feeling better before looking better, because if you focus on feeling better, you'll just automatically look better. You're just always going to look better. And you could do this. You could love yourself unconditionally as you are right now and still want to improve. It's human nature to always want to improve and get better, right? It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the version you are now. It just means that there's always room for improvement. You want to try different things. Maybe you want to feel differently. You want to feel more energized, right? You want to feel stronger. That's a thing for me. I like to feel strong. I can tell when I'm actually losing muscle mass, like over the winter when I'm not as active. And then when I start working out again, I'm sure everybody's experienced this. You start working out again and you're like, oh my God, last year I could do 20 of those. This year now I can only do 5, and I just want to get stronger. That's part of the reason I do the reset, is to kind of like really get myself back. And during the nice weather, I always work out more and hibernate less, and so I want to get back into getting like strong and feeling really good about myself. And it definitely does have something to do with the way I want to look too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I accept my body as it is. I think my body is amazing. Like I said, I've had 3 kids. I've run many half marathons. I ran a marathon, so my body has done amazing things for me, and so I am very happy with it. But I'm always looking. I want to always try to look my best, and I definitely want to feel my best. Energy is huge for me. So I know I spent a lot of time on that. Another thing I want to point out is never compare yourself to another person, because there's never a comparison. There's only one of you in this world. No one else can compare to you. Nobody else can do you better, right? You are the only you in the world. So just be the best you that you can be, right? Put the best version of yourself into the world. That's exactly what I do in that reset, helping you put the best version of yourself into the world, not some version that society plasters on these, advertisements or whatever for us. The best version of yourself, because that's all you can do, is be the best version of yourself. You're never going to be someone else, and nobody else can fill that position. So it is your job and it is your responsibility to fill the position of being yourself in this world. The world needs you exactly as you are. And so comparison is absolutely ridiculous, because everybody has different bodies, everybody has different circumstances, everybody has different ailments, everybody has different challenges, right? Everybody is so different. So comparing yourself to another person is completely ridiculous and unfair if you really think about it. Okay, I think this is the last one. I'm not sure. Yes, I think this is the last one. I had to think about that for a minute. Okay, calm down. So on here I write calm the fuck down. But this is very important when it comes to digestion, because if you're in a state of fight or flight, if you're like super stressed out, your body is not going to be able to focus on digestion. Your body is focused on saving your life, okay? That's the way the body thinks. So it's going to send all the blood to like the main organs like the brain and the heart, right? And actually I think what happens, I think I got that backwards. Anyway, it's not going to focus on digestion. It's going to focus on getting you away from whatever's threatening your life right now, right? And so, oh my goodness, I had to sneeze. I'm gonna have to look that up now when I get off. I can't look it up now. I need my notes, but I can't remember if it sends all the. I think it sends all the blood to the brain and the heart, or it sends all the energy to your like your limbs or something like that. I don't know. I'm totally foobarring it to death. But anyway, it's not focused on digestion, and it's very hard to eat your food and be able to digest your food well. So what's going to happen? Exactly what I talked about at the beginning. It's going to disrupt your digestion. It's going to cause gas, sometimes bloating, sometimes upset stomach, indigestion, right? So if you suffer from any of those things, I want you to focus on getting into a calm state before you eat. This doesn't take long. It's free. All these things are like completely free. That's what's great about all of these tips. You can change your health and actually could change the way your body absorbs nutrition just by calming down before you eat. How crazy is that? How amazing, how much control that we actually have over our own health without buying some kind of a supplement, without doing anything, just controlling our stress. So the best way to do this, the best way to calm your nervous system and get out of fight or flight is breath work, okay? And so there's two of my favorite ways to do breath work. There's two of my favorite ones. The first one is box breathing. And basically, the reason that works for me is because it distracts me because I'm counting, right? And so it distracts me from thinking and it calms me down really fast. Another reason why breathing works is because when you take a deep breath in and you expand your diaphragm, it stimulates your vagus nerve. And this helps get you out of fight or flight and get you into rest and digest, okay? And so it scientifically works, and like mentally it works too. Like, so box breathing is just this. I'm just going to do it with you. You're going to breathe in for 4, hold at the top for 4, exhale for 4, hold at the bottom. So let's do it together just once. Okay, we're going to breathe in, hold, exhale, hold. And then you just keep doing that. Do it like 4 times. And it distracts me from whatever was keeping me in fight or flight in the first place. But then at the same time, I'm taking these big, deep belly breaths. So when you're taking those deep breaths in, make sure you're filling your diaphragm, making sure your rib cage is expanding is really important. And if you just do this box breathing like 4 times, you can really calm yourself down. But do it as long as you need it. Don't do it until you hyperventilate, obviously, but do it until you can feel that shift. You could feel it. You could definitely feel it tone down. And the second breath I like is when I'm really like stressed. And I saw this or I've heard it on Andrew Huberman's podcast. It's called Huberman Lab. It's a great podcast. And this type of breathing is you're going to take 2 quick deep breaths in, and you're going to hold for a second, and then you're going to exhale through your mouth. Okay, I can't remember if you have to breathe through your nose. Yeah, I do. Okay, so deep breaths in through your nose. So you just do 1 and then do another quick one at the top. So and that really helps me calm down. But taking just deep breaths in general and slowing down your breath. So you know how when you get really anxious, really stressed, really excited, your breathing is very shallow and fast. So it's about slowing that down. Try to get your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. Okay? And sometimes when you're in a real like when suffer from panic attacks. I used to. I'm pretty much rid of those for the most part. But when you have a panic attack, it's really, really hard to slow down your breathing. And so when you first start doing these exercises, you feel like you're not going to be able to slow it down. At least that's how I felt. But you can do it. It works. You have to give it time. Okay. So there you have it. Those are all of, well, they're not all of them, but there are a lot of really free, easy, transformative tips that you could use today. You could start using these today and helping you digest better, absorb nutrition better, right? And take care of yourself at a deeper level, right? And a lot of these practices not only can improve your health and help your digestion, but you can also help you. It can also help you lose weight, right? So just the practice I talked about, while eating until you're not hungry anymore, not eating until you're full. For me, that might not be for everybody. Not everybody might not overeat the way I do. Like, I eat very healthy food. I eat too much of it. I really do. Now, I'm not like fat, but I do get somewhat a little chubby sometimes. So this helps me. It's like an easy way for me to just drop a few pounds, right? So that one is very transformative for me. Go through, like, listen to this again, write them down, or you can read the blog. If you go to tinastinson.com, you could read the blog, you can print it out, and pick the ones that resonate with you the most and do them. You don't have to do all of these tips, right? Just do the ones that resonate with you the most, okay? And see how it changes your life. See how to enjoy this. See if you can get your family to do it with you. See if you can get your friends or your partner to do it with you. Now, if you have any questions about any of it, feel free to reach out. You could private message me on here. If you're on, I'm going to be putting this on YouTube after that. So if you're on YouTube, you can message me on there. Feel free to ask any questions. As I said, I have the hot summer reset coming up. We're going to reset the mind, the body, and the soul. So for the mind, I do these resets all the time. For this session, which is an 8-week session, okay, we're going to focus on reducing stress, because when we reduce stress, what do? We have better digestion. We absorb our nutrients better. When we're not stressed out, our cortisol levels are down. So this helps us lose weight. This helps us stay healthy. This helps us have better digestion. Okay. And so I'm going to focus on de-stressing, and we're going to do that by decluttering the mind, the space, and all of your processes in your life. It's a very interesting, powerful process. As far as the body goes, we're going to focus on diet. We're going to focus on eating real food. You're going to get meal plans. There's going to be plant-based meal plans. You don't have to be plant-based to do this, but you do have to be open to some of these recipes. And if you're not plant-based, I can help you kind of adjust them to work with your diet. Also, we're going to focus on workouts that work really quickly and powerfully, but in a short amount of time. So there's going to be no workouts over 15 minutes. That's doable, right? So that's the body portion. And for the soul portion, we're going to be adding more joy, more adventure, and more playfulness, because I think we all can use a little bit of that, right? And so if you want to join me in this hot summer reset, it's going to start on June 19th. Just message me if you're interested. I'm making it very inexpensive so that everybody can do this. I want to make this accessible to everyone. I think it's a little over $20. And actually, I think it's around $27 a week, but you're going to be paying for it monthly. So there'll be 2 monthly payments of like $110 or $111. So it's very inexpensive. It's very accessible for everybody. And I would love to have you. There is limited space though, because I really work privately with you. It's a group program, but I also work one-on-one with you. I have Voxer one-on-one support to answer all your questions, because I really do want you to have success in this program. And so if you want to get in on this, as I said, it's a great value. I would love to have you do it with me. I'm doing it along with you. So it's so much fun. I would love to have you, like I said. So just message me if you're interested, and I could save you a spot. I can give you all the details, tell you how it's going to be delivered and all that stuff. And so you could message me privately on Facebook and also on YouTube. I'm trying to think of where I'm going to have this video. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.